So our organization is different in many ways. There's a lot of new software companies coming up. Everyone knows that technology has a lot of money in it, so everyone's trying to start up their own technology company. There's a lot of things you got to look for. A lot of people could go overseas. I always tell my clients, you could always go overseas and get a mobile application developed for $2,000, but it's really supposed to be developed for $15,000, $20,000. However, you don't know where your money's going to go. You don't know if they're going to steal your code, and they're most likely going to resell your code. The language barrier is always bad, and you got to stay up at midnight to speak to the developers to figure out what's going on. So with us, we're an all USA-based company. I do have developers overseas, and I have developers in-house. It depends on your budget. It depends on what clients want done in order to fulfill their needs. But I would suggest, obviously, both our engineers are really good. Like I said, we've been in the business since 2014, so we've been in it for a good amount of years. I've went through developers that weren't so well, and I've went through developers that are really well, and we built a really good team to where the developers that we have now are excellent, so they won't mess up your applications or have bad code application. So what you want to look for when you look for an application development company, what we do, our procedures, we never give you a quote based off of an idea. So let's say you came to me and gave me X, Y, Z, and you said, hey Malik, we got an application, how much will it cost? Well, we work in phases, so what you got to do is you got to start with the design and feature list phase. The design is basically how the app's going to look, touch, and feel, and the feature list is basically us writing out the whole application for you. What we'll do is we'll write out the whole application in an XLS sheet. We'll give you the amount of hours it takes to build the application, the amount of weeks, how many developers are going to be on the application, what type of phones we're going to use to touch the application, or what type of computers, what type of technology we're going to use the back end. The system admin. The system admin is super important. A lot of people forget about that. That's the keys to the application. That's going to be your access to the application, being able to add, delete, or block users. And then with those first two items, after that, with the feature list, what we do is we quote you for the whole application. A lot of clients will then say, well, if I start for the first list and pay you for that, how am I going to pay you for something and not know how much I get quoted for? That's a great question. We work within your budget. Our minimum to code any application is 10,000 USD. So right off the bat with our company, it's $13,000 USD minimum to code any application. So what you got to do is you want to talk to your team and make sure you guys get any type of crowdfunding, and then basically be able to crowdfund if you don't have that minimum 13,000. Or if you do have a budget, we have a lot of clients that pay us more than 13,000, and they're comfortable with that. We do work on milestones. So with that, then the second phase is the code phase. So what you do is you code that. We'll code the application for you, and we'll send out test flights. So that way you could see the application working, and you know that you're getting your work. Your work is getting paid for, and it's doing a great job. And then the last phase is we do quality assurance. We make sure the application is good to go, and then after that, after the quality assurance, what we do is we upload the application to the mobile to Apple and Google, and we make sure we get them approved. I personally do know people down in Apple, and I know people down in Android that'll help us move your applications through. If anyone knows about trying to submit applications nowadays to Apple and Google, it's very, very tough and rigorous. Apple developers, the Apple stores and the Android Play stores are getting very, very hard to basically upload your applications. They're making it tough on people because it's getting so competitive. But luckily, we do have people that we know down on Android and Apple to help you get past through that.